Hello, everyone. I'm happy to celebrate you today on the 1st of February. And today we have a community call on co-regulation in the lab journey. And if this is your first time joining us through this community calls, Pocket Project is committed to offering opportunities for us to relate and practice different tools so we can meet life more fully together. And this month, our international lab journey started, and each international lab is exploring a specific geographic or thematic area of collective trauma. So tonight's call is an open call for lab participants, but also as well to all people who are interested in that topic. And today, we will be looking at the process and practice of co-regulation in lab journey. So today we are together with Jürgen Wölfl and Heidi Wohlhüter. And Heidi is a certified psychotherapist, as well as licensed child and youth psychotherapist. And for 20 years, she has been working in a psychiatric day clinic. Also, she's an assistant in the Timeless Wisdom training and is part of the research group Mysticism and Healing. And Jürgen Wölfl is psychologist and trained psychodrama therapist. Jürgen works in his own private practice as psychotherapist, trainer, and also supervisor for single persons, couples, groups, and teams. And he's also accompanied Timeless Wisdom training and is a mentor in Thomas's online courses. I am so happy to welcome you today and feeling really excited for today's call. Thank you so much for your presence today, Heidi and Jürgen, and thank you everyone for joining us. I think over to you, Heidi. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, dear Daria. Thank you all, the tech behind and the translators, and warm welcome from our side to the second community call now. The first one was around self-regulation, and we want to approach and explore the co-regulation part this evening. And when we talked about in advance and prepared a bit what we want to bring tonight, we both agreed to that just to connect with what we are doing when we are starting the journey of collective trauma labs, already the nerve system reacts, at least on my side, and Jürgen also mentioned that. And this, for me, feels really important to be conscious about, that entering the collective trauma labs means my nerve system, my individual nerve system, always is in a way challenged and can't really hold what's somehow endless and much too big. So for us to bring these tools of self-regulation and co-regulation feels really quite relevant to do this work. And I'm also happy that we do this and to prepare the ones who really want to join the labs, or maybe you are already in a lab, but also the ones who just wanted to join this call with us and to become more close to the co-regulation. So before we really go into that, I would love to hand over to you, Jürgen, to guide us into the topic on a more meditative way, and then to see how we move on from that.
Yeah, thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Daria, and also for myself. A warm welcome to everyone. Great that so many people joined. Yeah, I'm also excited. And as you said, I could feel in myself now even opening to collective trauma, if I set the intention to do that, I will get it. And that means that doesn't feel nice, that doesn't feel comfortable. And I can even feel that today. And so, yeah, the question is, do we know what we are opening up to? Of course we don't, because we just probably have glimpses and can increase that a bit, because it's such an overwhelming, huge topic that overwhelms us by nature. So we need to numb, we need to look away, we need to not feel, because we can't feel everything. That would just explode. And so it's great that we focus on the co-regulation. And maybe it's important that, and I want to lead us a bit into that in a meditation where I offer some aspects that are important to us in opening up to the work with collective trauma. And the most important is to see I can't do that alone, like Heidi just said, and to get a feeling I am not alone, because alone in this call here, we are more than 300 people. Also, if I do a lab, the other participants and also the facilitators of the lab committed to this. And it's good to really train a felt sense of that. Can I really feel that other people have the same interest, have the same heart wish, or have the same motivation, the same love for this life, for the planet, for the earth? And to really not forget that. And I think, like Heidi and me, we spoke that it's inevitable that we will get triggered at some point. And the most important thing is not to settle that trigger in first place, but to have enough space to stay present with the trigger. And in this call, the self-regulation is, of course, very important, that you, from the last call, which you can also look up at on the web page. And today, the co-regulation is that I'm not alone with this. And to feel that. And maybe to give you some ideas of what seems important to me and to Heidi and me. And I want to invite you now for a short or maybe a middle long meditation in which we can practice that a bit. So, like, just as you are, just if you just be aware of how you feel. And it's not about changing anything, but just to be aware. So nothing has to be. And even if you think something has to be, then be aware of that. And maybe even relax that. And it's always good to start with the body. Maybe you're excited, maybe you're aware of the group, or you look on the screen. But if you do that, you'll also feel yourself. You can start with your breath, or just by feeling how you sit. Where you sit, in a chair, on a sofa, cushion. And feel that the ground, the earth, carries you. The earth always carries my weight. Gravity gently pulls me down so that I'm not going to fly away. And really feel that. If you want, you can be grateful for that. It's great. It's amazing that it's like that. There are these millions of processes that go on in your body to keep you alive. That's all we're learning. So that we can do here what we do. Trust your body and be grateful. And just settle with that. Also be aware, or accept how you feel emotionally. Emotions are there right now, which are in the foreground, which are in the background. And then open more if you want, or be aware of the channels that connect you to your higher consciousness, maybe to the divine, the whole. You feel downwards how you are connected with the earth, and that we are part of the earth. It surrounds us. You will also feel your heart, your love for yourself, for others, for life, for the biosphere, the planet. Also be very aware of how open or how protected you want your heart space to be. And it's allowed that you protect your heart space, that you don't open to everything. That you take care for yourself, take care for your heart. And if you're familiar with Thomas' work, or if that feels right to you, you can feel the space above your head, the soul level, or higher self. Maybe you even call it the divine, the bigger space, the higher consciousness. And this higher consciousness, or maybe experience it also as light, this bigger space, supports us when we do healing work. And it's good that we invite that and receive that, take it on, if we do collective trauma work. And how I want to invite you to go a step further and stay connected to yourself. What's your experience when you then open to a group of other people? Can you stay connected to yourself and still feel yourself, your whole body, mind, your whole system? Now I invite you to stay connected to yourself. Keep all your channels open and slowly prepare to open your eyes and look a bit into the group of this call. So I invite you, if that feels comfortable for you, to go to the gallery view. And look at some other people. And choose the ones you feel drawn to. And just feel and get an impression. How does this person feel? That you open your whole body to feel other people. How grounded do they feel? Do they feel happy or unhappy? Maybe you get an impression of the background. What you feel could be the biography. Where does this person come from? Which qualities does this person have? How much suffering has this person experienced? How does the journey of that other person feel? How much is healed? How much is still unresolved? Now, especially in our case of co-regulation, what are the qualities of this person that you like, that could serve you if you're triggered? To whom on the screen would you open? To whom would you go? Or to whom would you want to look at when you're triggered? When you're not well, or when you have a bad day? And now even one more step. How does the whole group feel when we do this? When we look at each other, tune in to each other, get an impression of each other, maybe a bit of feeling of how the group feels. So if you look at different people on your screen, looking at their pictures, then to see this is somebody I walk with. We have a similar intention, and we are ready to support each other. Share heaviness, share terror, share suffering, immense suffering out of decades, hundreds, thousands of years. Always the balance inside of you that you feel that, and that you look at others and at the group to see, oh, I'm not alone with this. How easy is it to ask for support, receive support? Also, if you look through your channel to the higher consciousness, to the light, to the soul level, and you see that in others also, like also in that you're not alone. The higher dimensions of every single person that's here on the call. There's many others on this planet. You have a shared intention that's also a resource that supports us, that I can connect with. Yeah, thank you. With some impressions, with some aspects. Yeah. I invite you now when we speak again, be more active, just stay connected to yourself. Let everything open, that's just comfortable to you. Yeah, we should.
Yeah, thank you, Jürgen. I guess you already named a lot of different aspects, and I could feel in myself. First of all, my gratitude and how much I'm touched when I see you all on the screen, and to see how many people dedicate to look at collective trauma and really want to bring love and healing, and somehow being conscious about that we dedicate to something what, yeah, how you already said it, will not feel good. And what I loved when you mentioned as well the connection to the earth and to our common earth, but also that whatever lab we enter, to really try to connect with the light, and as far as possible to stay connected with this. When at least this is how I experienced it, my capacity, my intelligence on different levels, yeah, I need you to approach collective trauma work. And already in the preparation when we met, I really felt, of course, my excitement regarding a huge group we are bringing the call to, but also regarding the aspect that we really want to bring our work to heal collective trauma. And already there I could feel for my nerve system how important it was to, let's say, co-regulate with Jürgen already. And what feels important to me is that it's not about the one way to do it. Maybe you have totally different entry gates in this. And I realized, looking at the screen, that when I look at Gerold, for example, something else happens in me. Also, when I set the intention to co-regulate, then when I connect with Claudia Shearwood, for example, yeah, so that it's really a different energy I perceive, and somehow something different in me opens up for a bigger space that my system can hold whatever tension, yeah. And yeah, you said it already. It's not what do we do when we are overwhelmed or when we need to shut down or becoming numb. From my perception, it will happen in every one of us that we are confronted with intense feelings. And the crucial point to me is that some part of me needs to get this when my system needs to tense and to shut down. There still needs to be a place where I have the consciousness around that. Otherwise, I even can't co-regulate. So, and in this also to find your way to get reminded, yeah, whatever you do for this, yeah, if you put a little heart on your screen or, yeah, however you do it, that you have something, if your system is like tense and you look out of this tension, then there might be no idea that you need co-regulation. This only can up when a part in you gets conscious about this, and to find a way that you're reminded in that. And I really guess the more we train this in advance, like that it's more clear that when we do this work, I have the people I cannot connect with. Maybe during a lab that I just, at the beginning, look on the screen and feel where I feel more close or where I feel, this person has space or that gets grounded, so that I'm used to connect with these people in advance for myself, to have them there when I need it, yeah? Sorry when my English is not fully correct, when I need them. So, yeah, and maybe we will say also something to that more at the end of the call. I really would love everyone to have also the people you connect to after a call, because when we enter collective trauma healing work, it does not end with the end of a lab call. It goes on. And it might be that in the night things appear in you, or dreams come, or you feel their panic or intense emotions, and that you do not try so much to find out why, but that you allow yourself really to connect with 1-2 people, to say, okay, I just need someone to regulate again, to co-regulate. I can't manage on my own. And Yeah. Maybe Jürgen and I, we just can make a small demonstration. Even when I guess the ones who are connected with the work of Thomas, so you know what is meant with co-regulation. I feel me, feeling you, feeling me. And when I need co-regulation, I do not feel me. Maybe I just can get that you are there, and I can get that your system is a bit more open, more grounded than mine. And even when I'm right now not in an overwhelmed state, we anyway can just maybe do a small demonstration how I or what's happening in me when I feel excited, when I feel, I can't say when I feel overwhelmed. This is not happening right now, but I can connect to a place that I'm overwhelmed. And for example, I would choose Jürgen because he feels quite grounded. We are connected since years. We already did intense journeys together. He's also Swabian. So, yeah, maybe I would choose him to co-regulate. Then I really first, I need to dare to look at him. At least how I know myself when I'm really in a state of intense feelings, it's not so easy to decide to connect to someone else. So I need to take this decision somehow in advance, and then I dare to do it. And at least when I right now connect to Jürgen, I could say I still feel like tension in my upper body, but somehow I can feel more my base again. I wouldn't say my feet, but my base. And at least as I would describe it, and somehow words for me feels not refined enough to really describe the process. For me, it feels with Jürgen, when I connect, it's mostly on a heart level. Somehow I can feel him being open in his heart towards me. And right now in this moment, how I said, when I'm not yet fully overwhelmed, but even then in my system, a bit more of streaming starts again. And the main thing is that I realize, wow, there is someone else. And then it's not like that I relax fully, yeah, but it's just the space is bigger. And I can also be more compassionate with myself, that I feel how I feel. And the main resource in this moment for me is to feel the connection. Yeah, and the more I stay in this connection, I also can feel again more my own body limits. I do not feel this so much when I'm really in tension, but now I feel again. And that's just maybe my way with Jürgen, and it might be different with someone else. Yeah, so it feels like whomever I choose, there is a different way. Yeah. But the main thing is for me that when we're doing this work, that I really give the permission to myself to connect with other people when I need it, and to invite the sense that we are connected. We all set the same intention to bring healing to what couldn't heal until now. And maybe we also can't do it, but to look at and to, decide that we really dedicate to whatever comes up then, however pain, suffering, darkness, too much might appear. Jürgen, do you want to bring maybe your perspective, but also your part in it?
Oh, yeah, thank you. I also want to invite everybody, if that's feelable, because when Heidi looked at me and connected to me, I felt that. And I don't know how easy that is to feel that, or that's good to train, to feel the connection. If Heidi just talks, it's different than if she really connects to me. Then I feel felt. This I feel you feeling me. And that's also beautiful for me. So that's a win-win situation for me. For me, that's the same. If I'm triggered, if I'm angry, if I'm full of fear, or if I feel overwhelmed, then like Heidi said, I need this, this is how I feel right now. And then if I look at Heidi, I know she will not judge me. And that already calms me down. There I feel, oh, okay, there is somebody there. So that there is presence now, today, in this triggered state. And this already gives me more space and makes me a bit more relaxed, more grounded. And it's not about content. We don't need to talk about the content, what triggers me, or what it was, or what I don't like, or what stirs something up in me. It's more about, okay, that's happening, and there is somebody there. She's in favor of me, or she's not judging me. And that creates a bit more space. And the content, if it's important, I can look at that in therapy and try it with my friends. And also if I am in a lab journey, I can say this is a precious thing that's shown to me. And that's good to bring that into the lab again, maybe into the next lab session. Even the dreams I have. But first of all, the co-regulation is not about processing the content, but to really calm down the nervous system, just create a bit more space so that I'm above water again and not under the water. And for that, I can use Heidi, so single persons. And it's good if you know people you can do that with. Reach out if you're in trouble. Or I can do that with the whole lab, the group. There is a group of people who committed to a shared journey. And even if I'm alone at home, I can connect to that group. And that's good to train. That's, I think, a very good practice. Like here, now to feel the group. And that becomes even more important the more I'm triggered. If I'm angry, if I'm sad, if I'm overwhelmed, if I'm in panic, in terror, just reach out. And that would also be something that that would be something if we go into triads now soon, that you can share in the triad or reflect on what is it in your life when you're triggered, when you're really in a bad state, what has helped you so far in your life? Which people have been a resource? Maybe somebody from the family, maybe especially not from the family. Which people or which places, which maybe even a stone, some things. So what helps you to create again more space? Stay above water, stay present, or become present again when you're underwater or not really present anymore. You don't feel the group anymore. You don't feel the intention of the lab anymore. You hate everything, or you're just overwhelmed, and how can you return to more space and to look at it? And what helps you to do that? What have you experienced as helpful in your life so far? What would you have wished for and didn't have? But it's clear that this is something that you would help you, that you would wish for. Yeah, and you want to give you in a triad a bit of reflection space, so that every person has 7 minutes, sorry, to talk about that, share that, to reflect on that, and maybe even be inspired by what the other two triad partners say. Yeah, no, I'm sure I forgot something. Heidi, you want to add?
Yeah, what I would love just to mention is that on one level, that self-regulation, or especially co-regulation, should be something what we naturally know about. Yeah. When a little child is excited, it can't regulate itself. It needs mama or whomever to regulate. And that we bring these topics, or that we somehow need to mention the tools of regulation, self-regulation, co-regulation, self-regulation, already is trauma information. And so also to be gentle with yourself if you are more used to somehow make it on your own. To be gentle with this, and at least to set the intention that when we dedicate to collective trauma healing, that we really invite ourselves to feel connection and to use other nerve system to regulate ourselves. I just wanted to add this. But however it is for you, yeah, all is great. And it's just about, okay, and what do you need to bring this more in your awareness, that when I'm with you in connection, I want to be a resource to co-regulate when you're activated and I'm not. That we really want to do this for each other.
And maybe we say that again, that we encourage, if you are in a lab, we encourage you to really prepare. So you have your toolkit in order to be prepared if it feels really bad, because that might be. And that you maybe agree with one or two other people, either of the lab or not, that you can reach out to them if you need something. Or like Heidi said, you put a sticker on your screen, or you write something on your wall that reminds you of, or take anything, a stone or a flower, or that reminds you of, wait a minute, I'm in a lab. That means I'm going to be uncomfortable. Maybe I get into arguments with my partner and I wonder, why do I do that? Why do I have a bad mood today? Why do I argue around? Wait a minute, I'm dealing with collective trauma. So there are so many atrocities. There's this patriarchy. There is so much violence atrocities that humanity experienced, and we opened up to that. So this is more on our screen, and maybe it's not really on our screen, but it's in our life. And so we need to get it on the screen. But for that, I need to say, wait a minute, stop. What is this about? Maybe this has to do with this collective trauma. That's not my issue in my life. Or even if it is, it's connected, or it has roots far, far, far before me. And what is it that reminds you that I stop and become aware of that again?
And the question for the triad was, or the invitation for the triad was, to maybe connect with whatever appears in you around strong emotions or triggered or whatever, where you felt in a way overwhelmed, and to share a bit what you experienced in your life as someone co-regulating you, or what helps you outside to have a co-regulative space and to calm down. And it might be this had been certain persons, it might be you have very intimate friends or grandfather. It might be also that you use nature and the tree or whatever, just to share what you experienced in your life. And in case when you would say, okay, I'm used to do it on my own, and I experience when I need somebody, then anyway, nobody's there. What would you have wished? On one level, we all know how it feels when somebody is there. So, something to add, Jürgen? Did I forget something?
I don't know, but that's also a question of the triad. If you have something completely different that we didn't think of, that really helps you, that resources you, that calms you down, widens your perspective again. What also sometimes helps me, I think Thomas Wölfl is he's downloading, and he's probably the most important person in this whole work, in this whole journey, and to connect also to his intention, if that's possible. And if that's hard, or if that sounds unrealistic, it's like Thomas always teaches. Sometimes it's enough I set the intention, speak this intention out, or kind of let it go out, and then receive. And maybe sometimes this brings me completely new insights, or connects me to a stream of information or intelligence that's much higher than mine. And I mean, that's also, of course, the big resource in this whole work.
And it's good that you name it, Jürgen. I remember myself that I always had the idea, or I can connect with the stream of Thomas and his channel, and then I didn't dare because I didn't ask him. And then it was good that he once said, "Of course you can do this."
So, good that you
so
say
it's
that.
really good that you named it. For me, it was really like, I'm allowed to do it. Yeah. So in the beginning, and for me, it was very, very precious to find this way to connect with his channel, especially when my channel felt more closed, or I could not connect so easy. Yeah, so yeah. There was another question, how to connect to Thomas' channel. That's yeah, that's really a good question. And you said it already. Somehow, for me, it's really, first of all, good to feel myself and to set the intention to connect with Thomas. Sometimes I need to connect to him, and then I can set the intention to connect with his channel. And sometimes when my system is not as closed, I can connect with my channel and from there connect with his channel. But it's really something around intention and trust and receiving. And not asking afterwards, oh, does this come through his channel or through my channel, or what happened there? Just, yeah, to really set the intention and to trust and receive. And maybe you find another way.
There was also the question about, for example, the Dalai Lama. So why do we mention Thomas here? Because, of course, Thomas is the one who initiated this work, also the collective trauma work. That's why we connect to him. But of course, if you are connected to the Dalai Lama, and that's great also to reach us to Thomas, because we learn with Thomas, or we are on the team with Thomas. And so that's the special work we do with him. Yeah. And also we develop and process this work with Thomas all the time. We learned a lot about the first lab cycles 2 years ago. So that's why that's the closest for us. But of course, you don't need to do that, or that's just an invitation.
Yeah, whatever is helpful for you on this layer is great. You also can send a prayer, or you can connect with Jesus, or whatever is for you. Yeah, Thomas is just a channel for me. He's not, yeah, he's just, when I connect to him, something opens up more, and then I can more easy connect with a higher place. Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining this call, to building this common space to feel each other. And maybe at the end, you also can feel the difference in the space from the beginning to now. It's very, for me, it's very touching, very beautiful. Felt like we came much closer to each other. And thank you, Jürgen.
Thank you, Heidi. And thank you for the whole team. Kosha and Anne from the Pocket Project could be here tonight, or tonight in Central Europe. So we missed them, but they are with us still internally. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Samantha and Daria. And thank you for the translation team.
Thank you all.
I have only one short closing announcement, which is thank you so much for today's call. It's magical, and I really appreciate our shared space. Thank you so much, Heidi, Jürgen, Ben, Sunita, Carla, and other translators, Melody. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for our shared beauty.